Hello and welcome back to a little 1997 Formula 1 season in AMS2 in virtual reality. Today we're here in Monza for the Formula 1 1997 Italian Grand Prix. Today we're racing as Nicola Larini in the Sauber. He and his team had a strong start to the season in Imola when both cars scored points. The races afterwards haven't been nearly as successful. Now that we're back on Italian soil, can the Sauber score points once again? We're about to find out as we'll be taking a look at the starting grid for today's race. And it is Michael Schumacher once again on pole position, who had a great run on form, only 1 point now behind championship leader Villeneuve, who starts in P2. Then it is his teammate Heinz-Harald Frentzen in P3, and then we see Panis scored a podium last time out in Spa and now starts from 4th. Once again, great run of form for him as well. And then it is Alesi, Häkkinen, Ralf Schumacher, Gerhard Berger, Eddie Irvine, David Coulthard, Giancarlo Fisichella, Johnny Herbert in 12th. And then we see Verstappen, Barrichello, Nicola Larini ourselves starting from P15. And then it is Mika Salo, Jan Magnussen, Shinji Nakano, Pedro Diniz, Damon Hill in 20th, and then it's a Minardi 11th row with Trulli and Katayama starting in 21st and 22nd respectively. And here we are on the grid for the Italian Grand Prix. 5 red lights are on and it's lights out. And away we go. And Larini gets a good start, already past Barrichello and Jos Verstappen, and now alongside his teammate Gerhard Berger, Johnny Herbert. And into turn 1 we go. Rettifilio is the name of this corner, and well, it is a lot different to today's chicane there. A little bit of a clumsy, well, double chicane if you like, but we had to let Verstappen pass once again, but we managed to stay ahead of Barrichello in the Stewart. And now into the second chicane, no chance for us to make a move, or well, maybe there would have been a chance, but we don't want to risk a collision in the first lap, as we're trying to get by Jos Verstappen with a good exit out of the second Lesmo, and towards the Ascari chicane, or the Variante Ascari, we make it past the Tyrrell, as we are now trailing our teammate, going towards the Parabolica for the first time. Not the greatest of exits you could get out of Variante Ascari, but still quite okay. Now through the Parabolica for the first time, and that has already been the first lap of this Grand Prix. And heading into lap 2, we have Schumacher still in the lead. Then it is Villeneuve, Frentzen, Panis, Alesi and Häkkinen. So no changes in the top 6, which will be the point scorers at the end of this race. Of course, in 1997, only the first 6 finishers scoring points. Well, and right now we managed to keep up with Herbert, but we're far from making a move. Maybe now through the Lesmos. This seems like we could go a little bit faster. Yeah, but the second Lesmo, he did get the better run through here. And now we are rushing towards Ascari once again, and what is definitely one thing that stands out here is that Irvine is really struggling. So it seems like Irvine is holding Giancarlo Fisichella, I believe it is, and Johnny Herbert up massively. Both of them could go a lot quicker than the Ferrari driver here on home soil for his team. What a disappointing race. And now someone has come ahead of us slightly. Probably David Coulthard, who is pretty slow here and gave us the opportunity by holding all of the others up to be in the mix right here. We are 3 wide. This will never work in the Rettifilio corner combination here. And oh, it's Michael Schumacher. Terrible race here for Ferrari for now. He was in the wall there from the race lead. Oh, that is terrible for the Tifosi. Irvine with a terrible race so far, and Schumacher now pretty much out of it, as we try to make it past Fisichella, but get blocked by our teammate, and now have to defend against Verstappen as we hit Fisichella, who was going into that chicane very, very slowly. And I think we have some serious damage in our front ring right now. We definitely do. And I think even the suspension has taken a slight hit. We definitely have to pit for a new front wing. And the suspension, well, it's still working, but the car, or the steering, isn't 100% anymore. You can see when we are going straight, the steering wheel is looking slightly to the right. Right now you can see it. This is a huge letdown for the Sauber team. We didn't take care there, or we weren't cautious enough there, and just went into the corner like we usually would. And there are other cars, and that is Jacques Villeneuve and Olivier Panis. They might have been involved in the Schumacher incident, as they are in the pits as well for repairs. This isn't a planned pit stop for these two. What a chaotic opening 3 laps. This is very, very, very interesting for the championship. Schumacher pretty much out of this race. Villeneuve had some major damage there. He is still in the pits, so we are ahead of the Canadian. Schumacher is still going, but he will have to do repairs as well, and now it's a recovery job for us as well. Well, and here he's starting another lap, which is lap 7, and this is how we're going right now. Alesi, Häkkinen, Berger, Coulthard, Herbert and Fisichella, so our teammate now into P5, so we would be close to the points as well. Oh, but this is Häkkinen, so we get gain another spot, and you can already forget these standings that we've seen there, as Häkkinen now is out of this race as well. Rettifilio catching out a lot of drivers right now. A lot of collisions there, and what is this? There is another car going slowly. I believe this is an Arrows, and this is Pedro Diniz, so we gain another spot here. 2 positions gained, and now we're up in P16, I believe. As we're now past the Brazilian. And yeah, P16, the next car ahead is Ukyo Katayama in the Minardi. 11 seconds between him and us, but we can go a lot quicker than him. Well, and a couple of laps later, we have already caught up to Katayama. And we are not completely out of this race. We're trying to make it through with 1 stop, as Katayama is defending into Variante Ascari. But we get the better exit out of here and make it past the Minardi. Well, it is not too hard to make it past these cars, as they are really slow and really struggling. Well, and if our tires last, as I was saying, we can make it through with just that 1 stop. So maybe we can get at least close to the points. We will have to wait and see. Now the next car ahead is Jos Verstappen. He must have already had his pit stop, as he was another car that we were running with just at the beginning. He was just behind us. So he already has done his pit stop pretty early, as we are not even at the halfway point of this race. So maybe he's even doing a 2-stop strategy, but I can't imagine that. And we are a lot quicker than the Tyrrell. And with a good exit out of the second Lasmo, we make it past the Dutchman. And are now running already in P14. So we are making good progress. Our lap time's pretty good as well. And this is the next car already, which is Jarno Trulli in the leading Minardi. shouldn't be too much of an issue, as well as the Minardi by far is the worst car on the grid. Now maybe on the pit straight with the slipstream we might get our first chance. We can't wait too long because this would be us losing a lot of time, and we're already alongside the Italian, but he is coming back at us and stays ahead into Rettifilio. Impressive. I would not have expected that. So it seems like we have to work a little more against Jarno Trulli than we had with his teammate, which was a pretty straightforward, easy overtake. Through the Lasmos, this isn't really a spot where you would overtake. Getting a good exit out of that corner here, out of the Lasmo 2. We get a good run. Oh, there was another car that had an engine issue, as we saw right there, and into Ascari. Trulli stays ahead of us. Jarno Trulli really defending impressively his 13th position, maybe now 12th position, as the car there that had his engine blown up. Haven't seen who that was. Might be a car that was behind us anyway. But now on the pit straight, a second attempt. This time we choose the inside line, but the Minardi is pretty quick in a straight line, so he will still stay ahead of us. Wow. Now through Curva Grande, we try to stay with him and to force an overtake into that next corner. We choose the inside line, and this may work if we are late enough on the brakes, which we are, and we get the corner done and make it past Jarno Trulli, who really put up a fight there. Impressive from the young Italian in his first season here. Well, and we are starting lap 15, I believe. So we are past the halfway point of this race, and this is how we are running. Coulthard, the first one in P5, has already stopped, and now ahead of us this is Giancarlo Fisichella, who already did his pit stop, and Jan Magnussen. Strong race for the Stewart team in general, as Barrichello. We have seen him running in the points right now as we make it past Giancarlo Fisichella into the same spot where we made it past Jarno Trulli. And now we're following the the Stewart of Jan Magnussen, of course, father of today's Formula 1 driver Kevin Magnussen. Towards Ascari we go, but we don't make it past. With a good exit, we might get a chance into the Parabolica. With the slipstream, we might actually be able to do that. This is looking really good. Oh, but he is defending. Properly defending, but that didn't work. Chose a too wide line through Parabolica, and we made it past Jan Magnussen to really be close to the points now. Well, and another couple of laps later, now everybody has stopped except Jean Alesi, who's still leading this race. It will be very close with David Coulthard in the end in P2. But our tires are, well, not that great anymore, and I don't believe we would make it to the end. So we chose to do another pit stop, and we are now in P4. So it will be very interesting to see if where we can come out after our pit stop. But points are still on the table. If we get a good pit stop here, it will just be tires. Fuel is enough for the last couple of laps, and with fresh tires we should be able to put up a fight, and it will be very close with P6 and 7 which are coming up right here. Magnussen makes it past us, and Eddie Irvine, who is running in P7 now. So we are now running in P8, following the two drivers ahead of us, which are fighting for the points. So now it's a three-way battle for the final points position, which right now belongs to Jan Magnussen. As I've already said, strong race for the Stewart team. They haven't scored any points this season so far. Barrichello came close a couple of times, but was had a lot of bad luck. He's now running in P5, so he should be able to score 2 points today. A bad exit from Magnussen, who impeded Irvine there as well. This might be our chance, as we are alongside the Ferrari driver, but have to brake a lot earlier than him into Variante Ascari. Now, towards the Parabolica, that wasn't the greatest exit of us, but Irvine really trying desperately to get by the Stewart ahead of him, to at least salvage 1 point for this for the Ferrari team in their home race. Oh, and now trying to go 3 wide into Rettifilio, maybe. Irvine trying to fight Magnussen, but we are trying to fight the Irishman, or Northern Irishman. But he stays ahead. And now he's still trying to make it past the Dane in P6, who is really defending brilliantly so far. He just has to make it a couple more laps. But it is a tough ask to defend against a Ferrari and a Sauber with fresh tires behind him. Second Lasma, we chose a little bit of a different line and a different approach to that corner to get a better exit, which we do. And now with the slipstream, we definitely make it past Irvine, and we might even make it past Magnussen as well. We have the inside line later on the brakes, and we get the corner done, so we move up to P6. Now we have to defend against Magnussen, who got the worst exit, and now has to defend against Irvine behind us. We can't see in the mirror, but I think Magnussen stays ahead, and this is very crucial for us, because the longer he can hold Irvine up, the more likely we are to hold that P6 and the final point in this race. And well, this is how it stands now. Now everybody has done their last pit stop. Alesi still leading that race ahead of Coulthard, and we are now in P6. Rubens Barrichello ahead of us, and there was a rear wing lying at the apex, and it might have been the rear wing of a Stewart. I don't know what happened there, but does the bad luck for Rubens Barrichello continue? I think it does. Ahead of us there is a car without a rear wing. Now if this is a Stewart, it will be Rubens Barrichello, and we will make up another spot. And yes, it is Barrichello. Terrible luck for the Brazilian, as he loses his first points. Well, and for a final time we are heading towards and through the Parabolica to finish the 1997 Italian Grand Prix in P5. Strong result for the Sauber team. And let's see how we finish this race. Jean Alesi wins his first race of the season, and the first race of the season for the Benetton team, just ahead of David Coulthard in P2. Strong result for the Benetton team, as Gerhard Berger also scores a podium. And as we've already pointed out, strong, really strong race for the Sauber team, with both of their cars in the points. Herbert in 4th, Larini in 5th, and Irvine managed to get past Magnussen as well to finish P6 and salvage 1 point from this disappointing race for Ferrari, which might be very, very crucial still in the Constructors' Championship, which we will see soon. As for the Drivers' Championship, obviously no changes at the top, as both Villeneuve and Schumacher fail to score points today. Coulthard now still sitting in P3, only 10 points behind Villeneuve now, so he might have some outsider chances in the championship as well. Alesi moves up to 4th, then it is Irvine, Fisichella down in 6th now. Frentzen, Berger, Häkkinen, Panis, Herbert in 11th with the same number of points now as Panis and Häkkinen. Strong season from him so far. Larini now makes it past Verstappen with his 3 points. First off, the non-point scorers are Hill and Magnussen with their best finish of 7th. Very unlucky for these two. Let's look at the Constructors' Championship as well, and this is what I was mentioning earlier. Williams and Ferrari now equal on points thanks to the 1 point that Irvine salvaged out of this race. McLaren just behind with 25 points, Benetton close to them with 23, so it will be very interesting. Also the fight for P3 in the Constructors' Championship between McLaren and the Italian team of Benetton. And then it is Jordan Sauber up in P6, past Prost, who sits in 7th, and then the Tyrrell team, the final team, who scored points. Stewart, very, very unlucky. There should have been at least 2 points today, but, well, what are you going to do about it? And Minardi obviously sitting in last. And that has been it for the 1997 Italian Grand Prix. The next race will be the Japanese Grand Prix in Suzuka, so subscribe if you don't want to miss that one. And, well, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all the next time. Goodbye.